Hi, everybody. My name's April. I am the founder and president of Retailu, which is an online e-learning company that builds future retail leaders. That's our mission. Our mission is really to succession plan 1 million leaders in retail. After working in retail for over 30 years and leading 250 stores in Canada for David's Tea, I actually left a couple of years ago the traditional executive role to set out on a course to build the best retail education platform. After everywhere I went, building these courses for every team. And so recognizing that there was a real gap in retail leadership training, that's what we set out to do. So that's really why Retailu exists. We're reinventing retail education, bite-sized, on-demand e-learning courses that cover all competencies for managers needed. Whatever company you work on, pretty much, there is a list of competencies that everybody gets measured on, but really, how do you develop those competencies? And that's really why Retailu exists, to help you with that. So tonight, really quickly, what I want to do is just walk you through the latest program that we launched at Retailu. And it was really from a request from our customers. How could we build a certified coaching program that would develop coaches in retail? I've taken 2 certified coaching programs in my career. One was a John Maxwell program, and one was a shift coaching program, which is under the World Association of Business Coaches. And they were both amazing, but I always felt like they were just too in depth or long for retail leaders. You know, coaching in retail can be anywhere from 5 to 10 to 20 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on the conversation. And so if you're not trying to build your own coaching practice, which you could with this certification, absolutely. But if you're not trying to build that coaching program where you're taking an hour for each coaching client, really, how does that fit into the retail landscape? So that's why this coaching program's come about. And it really, tonight I'm going to go through it in detail, like what you're going to get, what you're going to learn from this program. But before I do that, I want to bring up Catherine, because Catherine is a retail leader that's worked with me for, well, previously we worked together. But Catherine had the opportunity to go through the program, the first program, and become one of the first Retailu certified coaches. So I thought it would be a great idea for Catherine to share her experience, and really, before we dive into the details of it, really talk to you about your experience and why you joined the program, what you've got out of the program, and, you know, why do you recommend this to other people? So if you want to start, Catherine, just who you are, you know, a bit of your backstory, and then just, you know, share with us about your experience with the program.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having me. I love being able to join you with this. I completely believe in the work that you're doing. And so a little bit about me. My name is Catherine Barthel. I am a senior retail leader. I have had over 15 years of experience managing in globally recognized brands, teams of upwards of 600 people. Had high volume businesses, and myself very, very passionate about leading and coaching and developing people. I think really that is the magic that we've all fallen into in working with in retail. I think it's quite an honor to be able to do the work that we do each and every day. And I know, April, you feel the same way. For myself, I was a certified situational leadership coach. I can train situational leadership. I've taken positive intelligence training. I'm passionate and a learning junkie around anything to do with coaching and developing teams. And one of the things that I still found interesting was that there wasn't anything that really specialized in coaching for retail. And I think that that's a very unique portfolio of skills that you need to be able to work in the moment, on the fly, and be able to learn and adapt in ways that we probably haven't had as much exposure to, because there just isn't that wealth of knowledge that's been built up. But I think that's what's so awesome about this program. For myself, I saw that there was a void in some of my ability to coach others. And I really became very grounded and started to really be able to connect those dots as we moved through the program. And we really started to learn the steps of what positive leadership really is. And, your methodology around ACT and that platform of how to accept, create, and teach the teams that we lead really started to become something that was a game changer for me. It started to change the way that I looked at how I led. It started to, start to help me connect the dots as well on where I wasn't successful and the why behind that. And I think that that was something for me that, unless you have the opportunity to have a coach that you're working with on a regular basis, I don't know if you get that opportunity to be able to sort of self-reflect on sometimes why things don't work for you. And for me, this really helped connect that all through the channel and through that energy of positivity. And I think that we all know we've been through a lot in this last year and a half in retail. It's been a very challenging time for our people. And I think, this work and this certification really did, arm me with a whole new set of tools and resources that really helped me lean into, positivity and how important that is, because that begets positive results. And I think that for me, I really started to be able to connect those dots and see that in bringing and coming into a space with positivity, I'm going to be able to really lead people to produce even better results. And I think that for me was amazing. And it's funny how sometimes you don't things, and then you learn together in a different way, and suddenly everything connects, and now you've just learned something completely different that you thought you knew before. And I think that was
what's one of those things that really stands out from the ACT leadership model? Because the ACT leadership model was what the book was all based on, right? And a lot of this program is based on the methodology in the book. So what really stood out in the ACT model for you?
Yeah, I've got your book here, and I mean, it is highlighted. Like, this thing is crazy. It's like I think I'm on my second reading of it, and I still go back to certain sections again, sort of to self-coach myself. I think, for me, accept was that it shifted my mind, and to be able to go into a space and recognize that we have a great deal of responsibility in leading others, both in the words that we choose, but it starts with a level of acceptance to what's happening in this current moment, so that we can stand together and create. And I think unless you get that acceptance piece, which actually forces you to slow down a bit, it forces you to have to take a moment and truly really understand and get to know what's happening with your people. That to me was the real thing that helped me. It really clicked. And I think it's more than just in business. I think this is the same type of methodology and philosophy that really is helpful in all areas of your life. Yeah, and I think there's something as well, because you're working with a group of leaders from all across North America. You have this opportunity as well to really reflect and lead and work with others. So you've got that connection piece that's growing. You're working on developing skills that maybe just needed to be brushed off, and also need to be brushed off for the world that we're living in. Like, I think about, I've got your book open right now, and I'm looking at the 5 steps of accept. Face reality, nix judgment and stay neutral, approach setbacks in a positive way and see the good, check your biases. That's important right now as we lead, right? And stay present, manage the moment. Don't get ahead, don't think about behind you. It's about in that present moment, the here and now. And I think that's that to me started to then start this domino effect of how to change the way I was looking at leading. And it really hit me, and it's definitely something for me that I'm so thankful that I did it. It's something that I've already begun to use in my coaching, as I work with other people, and I've started working with a few different people, and we are talking about your book, and we're talking about the methodology behind it, because it really is something that it's so simple, but it is such an impact.
Yeah, it's so simple, but like anything, it's about learning and practicing. So thank you, Catherine, for sharing
Yeah.
that. I think it is super powerful. And I think those, just recapping those five, and we actually go through, right, a 30-day challenge where you actually have to practice each one. And what was interesting is I thought we could do it in 15 days, and everybody was like, no, this needs to be longer, because it's just changing the way that you think about things and the way that you behave in such a deep rooted way, that it really does impact who you are as a person, which impacts the way that you lead, which is what we're trying to accomplish. So thank you. Is there anything else you want to say just before we move on, or you're okay?
I would just say that, if you're on the fence, if you're just trying to figure it out, the best investment you can have is in yourself.
Mm.
And I think, we're only as good as how much we do invest in ourselves to be able to give back to people and truly represent, what servant leadership's really about. And I think that this is, for me, like I said, I'm going to carry this with me. I still think about, the 15-day challenge that became the 30-day challenge that is now extending into my like 3-month challenge, because I'm still reflecting on a lot of the stuff.
Right.
And I also got an opportunity to work and create with and lead with some incredible leaders, who I truly believe that I will have lifelong friendships with. And I think that's also something really important as you think about, connection, and that retail is still a very small, intimate space that we can operate in, and it's a very special place. And I think, you've done an exceptional job managing, and creating this environment and holding space for us to be able to learn in a really, really supportive environment. So thank you for having me here. And if anyone has any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.
Yeah.
But it's amazing.
And you can reach out to Catherine through LinkedIn as well,
Right.
because she's looking for her next retail adventure. So don't be shy. All right, awesome. Thank you, Catherine. So I'm
Pleasure.
just gonna close that down a little bit so I can keep going. So, I mean, why are we doing this? I truly believe that retail shapes the world that we live in, and we want to build future leaders and build coaches and really change the way that we approach leading from a people perspective first, and then those positive results will follow. I've driven companies of hundreds of millions of dollars, and I would always say people come first. You can't build an organization unless you're focused on creating an impact with your people. And generally people leave because of the leader they work for, number one, and number two, because of lack of development, which comes from the leader that they work for. So it's a bit of a circular thing. And so why did we create this program? So that we could help you really develop your teams and your leaders to be exceptional coaches. And who is this for? It's for anybody that leads a team. I would say if you're a field leader, this would be amazing. A multi-site store manager. I mean, we had in the first cohort program, we had store managers, district managers, regional directors. We had people that had 10 years in retail, people that had 25 years in retail, and it didn't matter. What the common thread was that they all wanted to learn and improve their skills to be able to make a difference to their teams and people. And I think that's who this program's for. It's not for somebody that doesn't want to grow and doesn't want to invest in themselves and doesn't want to be better for their teams. It has to be for somebody that really wants to grow. And for an organization, if you're looking at this and you're thinking about things that you can do with your teams now in this new reality, somebody asked me the other day, will you ever go back to like a 2-day conference, because right now it's a 13 to 14 week program. And my answer to that is we learned so much by making it into a 14-week program, because it ended up being a Zoom virtual program, right? I would never go back to a 2-day session, because I think there's so much growth that happens over the 14 weeks. So yes, it is long, but I'll get into what your time investment will look like in a minute. But it's well worth it. So anybody who really leads a team, you could be leading a buying team. You're still going to get a lot out of this program. So this is what's included. And how did we break this program down? We broke it down into 3 parts. So the first 30 days, you're really spending diving deep into my book, The Positive Effect, and the ACT Leading with Awareness model. And Catherine just shared a little bit about that, of how that's really impacted her leadership. And she's been leading for a very long time and led a country of stores. So, you know, you can see how that's really shaped and impacted her leadership. So the first 30 days is the book. The second 30 days is coaching skills. So real professional coaching skills, where we take you through a 4-step coaching model that we built at Retailu, specifically for retail leaders, because coaching in retail is a blend between performance coaching, coaching to inspire, measuring performance, and developing others, right? So there is these different components that go into that. So in that next 30 days, like I said, you'll go through a coaching model. You'll have practical coaching circles, like live coaching circles, where you'll be provided feedback. You'll also have homework to go off and find some coachees and coach people. And you can do that if you're in a business. You can find people within your team and practice that coaching with them. You'll also be provided with discovery questions, because great coaches have an army of questions in their back pocket at all time. And the more that you can get skilled at questioning and have those questions, the better coach you're going to be, the better leader you're going to be, because you're going to be asking more questions to listen more. So it impacts overall the way that you lead. So that's the next 30 days. And in the coaching, we really cover what mentorship is as well, the difference between mentorship and coaching, because there is a difference. And then the last 30 days is about facilitation and presentation, because one thing I wish that I had had earlier on in my career, as I grew to, you know, hold conferences, stand in front of boards, do trainings, do offsites with my directors, I wish I had had facilitation and presentation skills, kind of like adult learning methodologies and things like that. So again, if you have a team of people, you know, district managers, store managers, you have certified trainers in your business, or you want to have certified trainers in your business, this would be a great exercise for them, because we take you through really all of that information, and you have to present a 20-minute presentation to the group and get measured and get feedback from the group. And this was invaluable to a lot of people in this program, because they learned technical skills, how to present on Zoom, how to have engaging activities on Zoom. Somebody emailed me through LinkedIn yesterday that I used to work with and asked me, hey, April, do you have any icebreakers for a Zoom conference? So these are real life skills that we need today. And that's why we wanted to include it in this course. So, you know, this course is not just a coaching course, right? It's leadership for the first 30 days, coaching for the middle, and then for the last part, it's facilitation and presentation. Each person also gets a 30-minute one-on-one coaching with me currently, but as we build Retailu coaches out, those Retailu certified coaches will be able to host those 30 minutes. But right now it's with me. And the reason for that is so that you can have the real life example of being coached, because when you have that experience, you're therefore being able to go and coach with other people. So there's also 2 Retailu e-learning courses, coaching and mentorship. There's a challenge led by me on Marco Polo, where I will speak and share and inspire everybody going through the book. So there's a ton of content. You get downloadable workbooks. You get a workbook mailed out to you now with pocket tools and things like that. So this is just kind of like an inside look. So you can see the live learning call here. You can see me and Rena right here on the Marco Polo challenge, and you know, how this kind of looks from the inside. But you know, if you choose to sign up, then you'll see more about that. So what will you learn? Well, you're going to learn the ACT Leading with Awareness model from the book. You'll get a copy of the book. You'll learn how to coach using the SPOT 4-step coaching method. You'll really walk away knowing how to train and mentor in retail. There is PDF downloadable tools helping you understand how to develop other leaders, because one of the biggest gaps I saw in my leadership career was, okay, people got promoted through the ranks because they worked really, really hard, but then how did they develop their leaders underneath them to succession plan? That's a real skill. I used to spend lots of times in stores sitting down with my team and saying, okay, what are we working on? Let's craft these really great individual development plans so that we can develop others, so that we can have internal pipeline. And you can't just leave that to chance. Okay, I don't believe you can leave that to chance. I think you have to have the tools, you have to be trained on how to do that. And then you'll be able to, you know, like I said, succession plan people through your business. You'll know how to present online and offline, and you'll have facilitation skills, including how to engage in a Zoom call. So this is what you'll learn through the program. How much time does it require? People ask me this all the time. So I would say about 3 to 4 hours per week, depending on the individual. There is a 2.5-hour full class, live class that's facilitated every week. Rena has actually put the link in the chat to the actual page on the site. But if you're looking at this video afterwards and you don't have the opportunity to grab the link, you go to the Retailu site, you look under individual, you'll see the coaching certification. In that page, there is a link where you can download the full calendar, okay? And that will show you exactly how it's laid out and how much time in live classes and pod and reading groups and things like that. So about 3 to 4 hours a week. It's a 13-week program. But there is 3 weeks of practical coaching that happens after that. So it's 13 weeks of getting together, but it runs usually for about 15. Practical coaching hours, so you'll have to find 2 coachees and coach them for 2.5 hours each, compared to other coaching programs where you have to do 100 hours of coaching to become a certified coach. Many people in retail are already coaching. So we just want you to practice with our methodology. And that's why we've shortened it and not made it, you know, hundreds of hours to become a certified coach. You'll have a presentation assignment, and you'll have daily challenges. So that's really how much time it requires. And then, you know, we're running it now starting in July. So I think the first get together kind of meet and greet starts on the 7th of July. It could get pushed back by a week. And then the full classes start the week after. So right now we're offering a discount if you sign up. This discount code expires on Saturday at midnight. So you get 10% off. If you're a Retailu member, you will actually get 20% off. So if you're not a Retailu member, I encourage you to sign up. You can sign up for a free membership on Retailu. Just go to the site and sign up. There's free downloadable tools and a ton of resources in there. And that's because we really look after our members. So this is there, but you know, we're looking right now for 20 leaders to go through this program. So it is limited spots. Now, if you're an organization that finds this and is interested in putting a group of leaders through it, then you want to get in touch with us at info@retailu.ca, because we can run the program for an organization if you have enough people to go through it. We cap the class at 20 because it's an intimate learning where you get into pods and you go through things together. And, you know, you're going to learn the best when we've tried it with different numbers. And this is the number that we feel really comfortable with. So right now we're signing up for July. And so, yeah, that's a bit about the program. So definitely, you know, grab this little coupon code right here and we'll be able to help you get signed up. But like I said, if you want to know more information, you can go to the Retailu site and you can open all the links in there and you can look at the calendar and all that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of testimonies on the site as well that you can take a read through. And if you have any questions, you know, just email us. We're a very small team, but very mighty. And we love talking to our customers and love providing as much information as we can.